'twas the week before Christmas, and all around the house Gladys Applegarth was fussing and ironing her blouse. Not a thing out of place could ever be found. She was constantly straightening. You could eat off the ground. Her nails, they were perfect, and her hair was in curls. Her clothes, they were costly and envied by all the girls. Her tree, it was brought in by the greatest designer, who cost her a fortune, but hey, this was minor. She dusted her Bible with painstaking care in hopes that her pastor would notice it there. With her nativity up and her presents all wrapped, Gladys felt sure she was ready for a long winter's nap. When what to her wondering eyes did appear but a note at the door, saying a guest would be here. The note was embossed with gold letters impressive. It was scented with lavender, which she concluded was excessive. Now when Gladys turned over the note, most mysterious, she could scarce take it in, or was she delirious? A prophet, a priest, and a king all in one? The visitor was coming, and Gladys was quite undone. What a disgrace to be caught in her robe, as she fled to the closet all in a frenzy. She ripped through her closet with hat boxes flying. She searched through her wardrobe, everything trying. At last she emerged, in collars so gracious. If the truth be told, she was looking quite bodacious. True to form, Gladys confidently made her house ready. She waited for royalty, feeling quite heady. When what did she hear but a knock at the door? When she opened it, all she found were a few kids who were poor.
We're so cold. Do you have any extra jackets or shoes we could have?
I am expecting someone important, and I have nothing to spare, so please leave. Ow. I just got hurt. Oh.
Now Gladys considered herself good to the less fortunate, but no one could blame her for getting rid of these subordinates. Determined to be ready to receive her guest fare, she went to the mirror to poof up her hair. She decided to sing as she laid out the table. She was sure to impress with her cooking skills able. At last came the knock, and Gladys felt all a twitter. It was very last minute, but she threw on some glitter. The man at the door was so unexpected. He was filthy and tired and utterly rejected.
I'm sorry to be a bother, but I am so thirsty. Can I have a glass of water?
Sir, I have a visitor coming. I must ask you to leave.
How could this be that tonight of all nights these beggars would show up and threaten my delights? Gladys grabbed the air spray as she was not beyond admitting. She was glad to get rid of the smell that he'd been emitting. Unnerved just a bit, Gladys poured out some tea. She said, I must steady my nerves if I am to meet royalty. When only a moment or two had elapsed, Miss Applegarth answered the door and collapsed. Quick to recover, Gladys jumped to her feet, and to the sick creature said in a voice not too sweet, Who are you, and what do you want?
Please, my child is sick. May I please use your phone?
Oh, dear, you must leave. I can't have sick people in my house. I have guests coming. Oh.
The events of this evening seemed so completely absurd that Miss Applegarth, well, she nearly had a bird. It would be impossible to welcome this king or a duke unless she could get rid of this pile of puke. What else could go wrong? This simply can't be. Don't these people know who I am? His Majesty chose me. A knock at the doorway gave Gladys a fright. She swung open the door, half expecting this sight. There stood a few men with a disheveled appearance, 2 ex-convicts. Just perfect. What does he want, royalty clearance?
Hello, might we do an odd job for some hot soup or even just a sandwich?
No, sir, I can't be seen with you. You need to go.
Our lady in question didn't know what to think. Her hopes for this evening were beginning to sink. Something inside her was feeling uneasy. Had she done the right thing? She was feeling so queasily. And then in a twinkling bright light did shine, an angel appeared that was clearly divine.
Hey. Huh. Yeah.
The angel told Gladys of her real worth and reminded her of Christ Jesus' birth. They talked to the visitors, and God's Spirit helped her see, what you did for the least of these, you did for me. Gladys now realized the error of her ways, and she knelt on her knees and started to pray. It is always amazing what God can redeem. We must remember Christ's birth was completely supreme. How God knew the end from the beginning, which would offer us freedom from a life full of sinning.
You fed me. I was thirsty. You gave me drink.
I was a stranger.
You took me in.
I needed clothes.
You covered me.
I was sick.
You gave me a cure.
I was in prison.
You came to me there. What you did for the